A rain-snow mix today for parts of the area and a light snow accumulation for others. We're walking you through the timing, the totals, the location, all that coming up in a few minutes.
And school closings. Districts across our area are exercising caution ahead of this winter weather. What students and parents need to know this morning.
Persistent power problems. People in Creedmoor are still dealing with issues after a massive outage the day before Thanksgiving. This morning, an update from Duke Energy on its progress.
We do have a lot of updates to get to here as we are tracking that winter weather. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. Let's go ahead and get right over to meteorologist Chris Michaels tracking it all for us in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Guys, good morning to you. Yeah, so we start out with this winter weather advisory that the National Weather Service issued yesterday. It's in effect for today into tomorrow morning for these purple shaded counties from Wake, from Johnston and Wilson counties to the north. This is where you see either a light snow accumulation or some slick spots heading into tomorrow morning. So the morning commute today is fine. As we head toward midday, it's more of a rain-snow mix from areas near and to the north of I-40, and then some light and scattered snow showers will continue for the afternoon commute and into the evening. In the triangle, what could limit your snow accumulation is the surface and ground temperatures. If the snow is falling lightly, it just melts on contact with the ground, but if it falls a little heavier, then it can overcome that warm ground and give us a little bit of a dusting. So that's why you see the numbers that you see here. This is raw data from the National Weather Service, but it falls in line with our forecast as well, where the best chance for an inch of snow is going to be close to Carr Lake and Lake Gaston up toward the Virginia state line, but you're going to fall well short of that as you head farther to the south. Ken?
What's happening now with the WRAL Traffic Center? We got a real trouble spot brewing in that northern loop of the Beltline. This is what we're talking about here. This crash on I-440 eastbound near Six Forks Road. You can see the huge delays it's causing on that northern loop of the Beltline. So I would recommend that you stay local, maybe Wade Avenue, or maybe take the southern loop of the Beltline. The other troubled spot is here in Chapel Hill on Highway 54 in the eastbound lane near Farrington Road. This is right near the Nantucket Grill there in Chapel Hill. You can see the delays it's causing. Again, here, Fordham Road might be an alternate route depending on where you're coming from in Chapel Hill, but you live in that area. I'm sure you've got some alternate routes in mind as well. Here's a look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Traffic has definitely picked up in those westbound lanes moving away from us this morning, but flowing at a really nice steady clip. And as we give you the big picture this morning, very little to no delays on a lot of our major routes heading into Raleigh this morning, short of a 2-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest. You're getting ready to head into the Cartoonist Center on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Ken, thank you. This morning, many students in our area will not be going to school. Wake County is one of several school systems that are closed because of the threat of winter weather. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Wake County School headquarters in Cary for us this morning. And Kelsey, a lot of districts are exercising caution today.
Yes, Laura, and Wake Schools is on the top of that list. The district headquarters here closed this morning. We'll go ahead and give you a look at a map now so you can see how this winter weather is impacting other school districts across our viewing area. Durham, Chapel Hill, Carrboro, Johnston, Orange, Nash, Franklin, Vance, Wilson, and Chatham County schools are also closed. A few school districts are closing school early, including Halifax, Wayne, and Northampton County schools. Others are going remote, like Edgecombe and Person counties. Granville County Public School Superintendent Stan Winborn explains what school leaders consider when choosing between closing or going remote.
All of our students in grades 3 through 12 have a device, but they don't always take them home every day. And then it's difficult to know the reliability and speed at which they have connection at home to the internet. So we have to make sure we provide an alternate learning packet for them.
Now, that alternate learning packet that you just heard the superintendent mention is a paper packet that they're able to give 3rd through 12th graders. Well, those paper packets were not ready in enough time for today, so Granville County Public Schools had to close. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
And, we wanted to keep our eye on the situation regarding delays and cancellations over at airports. Let me show you this. So our team of meteorologists put up this radar so you can see essentially where that system is right now. And if we take this and put this over the misery map from FlightAware, you can kind of get a good idea of what some of these places are dealing with, including over in Charlotte, where we're tracking some delays there. Now, this map hasn't been updated in the last 5 or so seconds, but this one, the breakdown, we're talking about 30 different delays happening at Charlotte Douglas International Airport and 12 cancellations as well. In terms of what we're experiencing, and not as bad, 7 over at RDU in terms of delays and only 5 cancellations. But should this, of course, affect your afternoon commute or possibly travel plans in the afternoon, we'll be watching that here on WRAL News.
And you can count on the WRAL Severe Weather Team to keep a close eye on this system. Stay connected to updates anytime by pulling out your phone right now and downloading the WRAL Weather app. Make sure your push notifications are turned on to get important alerts right to your phone. We will have team coverage of this winter weather all day long. Our meteorologists will provide up-to-the-minute updates as the system moves through. Tune in for the latest reports during our afternoon newscast starting at 4 p.m.
Well, people who live in a Durham apartment complex are back in their units this morning after a fire. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was at Plat 4 at Research Triangle Complex on First Edition Drive. Firefighters evacuated several buildings as a precaution. Now, the battalion chief on the scene telling us the fire sparked on the balcony of one of the units around 1:30 this morning. No one was hurt. The cause is being investigated. Also in Durham, we're trying to find out more about a crash that happened around 8:30 last night. This was the scene at Red Mill and Glen Roads. We're trying to figure out how that crash happened and if there were any injuries. State troopers were spotted on the scene along with Durham County Sheriff's deputies.
Happening today, the man accused of stabbing someone on the Charlotte Light Rail on Friday will make his first court appearance. 33-year-old Oscar Solorzano faces felony charges, including attempted first-degree murder and assault with a deadly weapon causing serious injury. He's not eligible for bond because he is in the country illegally and has been deported previously. The victim, Kenyon Doby, was stabbed in the chest. He's still recovering in the hospital this morning. Doby says he put himself in harm's way to prevent another person from getting hurt. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help cover his expenses going forward.
As our area prepares for more cold and winter weather, people in Creedmoor are still dealing with HVAC issues. That's because of a power outage before Thanksgiving. WRAL's Ali Cadlebar outside the Duke Energy headquarters in Raleigh. Ali, you have a timeline from Duke as to when these repairs could be completed.
And we know, Ken, today we're going to see those temperatures in the 30s and snow in the air just north of the Triangle. But this week, Duke Energy is going to be going out to Creedmoor. They're going to be working to find a permanent fix to a problem that caused some people to even replace their heating systems. We want to get right to this video just shared with us in the past 30 minutes. You can see what caused these issues. It's those 2 power lines. There, you can even see them arcing. Now, this video shared with us appears to show that problem that we reported about nearly 2 weeks ago. 2 power lines near Creedmoor sagged and made contact. It caused an outage that affected more than 2,000 customers for hours. Crews restored power, but Creedmoor residents told us the outage caused problems with their HVAC systems and several other appliances. Duke Energy says it hopes to have a permanent fix in place by Wednesday. WRAL pressed Duke Energy about reimbursement for the problems. The company confirmed it will cover damage tied to the equipment failure that caused the outage. And you can find how to file a claim on WRAL.com. We're working to find out if their temporary fixes will hold through the winter weather today and tomorrow. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Cadlebar, WRAL News.
The family has identified the teen killed in a crash Friday evening in Cary. Family members say Lena Goff was killed in this crash at the intersection of Lewis Stevens Drive and Morrisville Parkway. A GoFundMe was set up to help her family during this time. This comes as we learn the driver accused of hitting the car Goff was in is now charged with misdemeanor death by motor vehicle and failure to yield. The name of that driver has not been released. Goff was a student at Green Hope High School in Cary. On Sunday, the school's principal released this statement. As our GH family continues to grieve and move towards healing, please remember that we are one community. We are here for each other and will support each other through connection and grace.
Luigi Mangione is expected to appear in court today in New York. Mangione is accused of shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson a year ago. Last week, we saw new photos of what he was wearing the day he was arrested, the items he was carrying, and a note discussing the shooting. Mangione's defense team is trying to get this evidence thrown out, arguing he was questioned before being read his rights. Mangione pleaded not guilty to both state and federal charges. We're keeping an eye on the U.S. Senate this morning. They're expected to vote as early as this week on whether to extend subsidies linked to the Affordable Care Act. These subsidies were major sticking points in negotiations to end the government shutdown last month. If Congress does not act, millions of Americans will be faced with a choice: pay higher premiums or simply go without health care coverage. Also, President Trump is expected to be in Pennsylvania tomorrow to talk about making health care costs more affordable. Lots more to share with you here in the 8 o'clock hour. Math overhaul. North Carolina considering changing the requirements for upper level classes. How they say this helps students prepare for the future long term.
Plus, a children's toy recall. Why officials say a popular product poses a risk for kids. That's coming up.
And guys, look at Boone. Ken and I just looked at each other like, oh my gosh, it is pouring snow in the high country. We may not see something quite like that, but I'll show you which parts of our area do stand the chance of some light accumulations later today. Coming up. 8:13 this morning. Still going to be a while before we see precipitation moving into the area. Starts out as mainly rain in the Triangle, a little bit of a rain-snow mix to the north, and all snow in Virginia. And then snow mostly accumulates north of I-40 and I-85. Some of those totals will be fairly light, but whatever moisture does fall today is going to refreeze heading into tomorrow morning. That's why the National Weather Service has that winter weather advisory into tomorrow morning. As you see these temperatures in the teens and the 20s. They also put out this product that I think is pretty cool. It goes to show the winter weather impacts, which are limited for areas in this kind of gray blue color. Minor mainly to the roads in the yellow, and more significant as you head up into the orange. So if your travels take you up there, you can take us with you on the free WRAL weather app, and that's where you can keep an eye on our exclusive product of road temperatures. Ken?
And Chris, speaking of travel, we're helping out our business travelers this morning. Maybe you're getting ready to head to the airport to start a vacation. I-40 and Wade Avenue, those are the westbound lanes heading right to the airport this morning at a nice steady clip. We've also looked at other routes heading into Ardea International this morning. Very little to no delays, short of a 2-minute delay on Highway 70. We're monitoring a crash on I-440 eastbound, not far from the Six Forks Road exit. I'll have an update coming up in less than 10 minutes.
Okay, parents, listen up. The way your student learns math could get a big overhaul in North Carolina. A new proposal being considered would get rid of 2 required upper-level math classes. They'd be replaced with electives aimed at better preparing students for life after high school. Leaders say they want to change math to be more interesting and relevant to students' lives. And they want more real-world examples of math in all grades.
If you can offer students more choice, that could possibly keep them engaged in math.
WRAL's Education Insider dug into the proposal. You can read our full report at the education section of WRAL.com. The federal government is recalling a popular children's toy. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is recalling these Crayola brand Pip Cubes. The cubes contain magnets that could become loose and could become harmful to children if they swallow them. So far, there are no reports of any injuries. The 24-piece sets were sold at Michael's, and the 27-piece sets were sold on Amazon. If you have these, you are asked to either throw them out or return them.
President Trump broke tradition last night in Washington, D.C. as he took the stage as host of the annual Kennedy Center Honors. The President and First Lady Melania Trump walking the red carpet last night and speaking to the media before the ceremony. Earlier this year, Trump was appointed chair of the Kennedy Center and has made renovating the facility one of his top priorities.
Well, it's very exciting being chairman, but maybe more importantly, saving this incredible structure and building and concept. And it's done so well. You know, we've raised a tremendous amount of money tonight for the building itself and for charities overall. And we're really happy.
This year's honorees are George Strait, Michael Crawford, Gloria Gaynor, Sylvester Stallone, and members of the rock band Kiss. They were all presented with medals in the Oval Office beforehand. Last night's event will be broadcast later this month. On Hawaii, service members, veterans, and civilians all gathered for the 84th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. On December 7th, 1941, more than 2,000 people were killed in an air raid by Japanese forces on the U.S. naval base in Hawaii. The sneak attack shook America's confidence and pulled the country into World War II. Congress designated December 7th as National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day back in 1994.
The Duke football team is looking ahead to its bowl game after it was left out of the 12-team college football playoff. Instead, the committee chose teams such as Tulane and James Madison. They were higher-ranked conference champions. So Duke picked up that win this weekend, and the Blue Devils beat Virginia for their first ACC championship since 1962. But Duke also had 5 losses this season. That was too many to make the playoffs. Duke head coach Manny Diaz pushed hard to try to get Duke included, but he's still grateful for the opportunity his players had this season.
So I just feel very humbled by the people who support us, the players that we can attract that are drawn not just in terms of the football aspect of what Duke can offer, but what can Duke can offer in terms of the experience of our guys when they come on our campus.
Game of the season will be December 31st. The Blue Devils will take on Arizona State in the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. NC State is heading to a bowl game as well. The Wolfpack will play Memphis in the Gasparilla Bowl in Tampa. That game will be on Friday, December 19th.
Sticking with football and the pros, boy, a tough game for Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes on Sunday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs was at home taking on the Houston Texans. Mahomes struggled against that solid Houston defense, throwing 3 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. The Texans ended up winning that game 20-10. Houston picks up its 8th win of the season to remain in that playoff hunt. More football action tonight on ESPN. 2 playoff contenders facing off, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Chargers. Kickoff in L.A. scheduled for 8:15 tonight.
One way to give back this holiday season is through WRAL's annual Coats for the Children campaign. Now through December 31st, we need your help to gather as many coats, hats, and gloves as possible. To find a nearby and neighborhood Jiffy Lube drop-off location or make a monetary donation, you can scan the code on your screen. You can also go to WRAL.com/coats. Help WRAL and the Salvation Army spread warmth and hope. We have a live look now at the NCDOT salt barn near the State Fairgrounds, where we are expecting, Chris, to see those trucks out on the road today as the winter weather season comes and close in, the system that is.
You know, and it's interesting because you look at these trucks and you think, oh my gosh, we're going to get inches of snow.
Right.
It could also have to do with just the little bit of moisture on the road that by tomorrow morning is going to get slick. So that's why these salt trucks are going to be out there. Let's walk you through what we expect and start you out with a regional view of the radar. And you can see the warmer air to the south, hence the rain, the colder air to the north, hence the snow. This is the mix that we've been talking about for the past couple of days now. As we zoom into a local level here, or more of a regional level, you can see Beach Mountain. That is not the snow guns going off. That is just good old natural snow in the North Carolina high country. Now let's zoom into a local level here. And you can see Futurecast doing a pretty good job of handling the delay in precipitation. Again, over the weekend, we told you guys that this would be a late morning and afternoon start for us. So here's 11 a.m. You see it starting out as snow or as a rain-snow mix toward the Virginia state line, whereas it's probably starting out as all rain in the Triangle and Sandhills. Heading into the afternoon, this is 2 or 3 p.m., a little bit of a rain-snow mix possible in the Triangle, more snow toward the Virginia state line, more rain farther to the south. Beyond about 4 or 5 p.m., we're going to start to turn this into a scattered snow shower kind of situation. And I do think that a lot of those snow showers will be north and east of the Triangle heading into the evening, feeding off the little bit of moisture from places like Carr Lake and Lake Gaston. And then by 10 o'clock tonight, all of that is out of here. So when you look at the snow accumulation map, it would have to come down pretty heavily in the Triangle to overcome the warm ground. That's why we're going pretty much with an upper limit of a dusting, whereas areas in the baby blue there, you could see anywhere from about a ½ an inch to an inch with isolated higher totals, especially as you get up into Virginia, where it's colder for longer. So regardless of whatever kind of moisture you see today, there's the threat for refreezing heading into tomorrow morning with sunrise temperatures around 18 to 24 degrees. Tomorrow's a cold and sunny day with highs near 40, and then heading toward the middle of the week, you see highs in the 50s. So it's a nice brief break from the bitter cold, but as we head into the weekend, that's when we see another front push through. But that one's not really going to have a lot of moisture with it. It's just going to serve a purpose to cool us down even more with below average temperatures likely as we head into the weekend. Out of an abundance of caution, today a WRAL weather alert day for those parts of the area that do see winter weather. Keep in mind, We cover 23 counties, so not everybody's going to see the same thing. But we all see the cold heading into tomorrow, and there's your ebbs and flows in temperatures from 57 Wednesday to 20s again Saturday and Sunday mornings.
All right, Chris, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We got a real trouble spot brewing in I-40 eastbound right now near Chapel Hill. You can see the huge delays it's causing at Highway 54. And really and truly, Highway 54 is your best bet if you're coming in from Chapel Hill at all points west. That'll get you onto I-40 eastbound instead of trying to get onto I-40 eastbound before that. That crash we've been telling you about on that northern loop of the Beltline completely cleared, but we're still seeing some lingering delays in that area. If you're in the rush this morning, you might want to take that southern loop of the Beltline. And speaking of which, here's a look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Traffic flowing nicely at a nice steady clip.
All right, well, holiday shopping savings. 5 on your side tells you about some of the best deals around as you cross off your holiday list this month. And ticket scams. A Raleigh mother is warning people after she tried to buy resale tickets for Pullen Park's Holiday Express. The signs that you should keep an eye out for coming up.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up-to-the-minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Let's get right over to meteorologist Chris Michaels on this Weather Alert Day. Chris.
Yeah, so it's a dry start to the day, right? That's something we've been talking about over the weekend. As we head late morning into the afternoon, you start out with rain in the triangle, rain-snow mix just to the north of that, and mainly snow toward the Virginia state line. So it's most widespread through the early afternoon and then transitions to scattered snow showers north and east of the triangle heading late afternoon into the evening. That's why it's going to be tough for us to get much accumulation in the triangle, nothing southward, and then lighter totals farther to the north. Updates to come throughout the day as you can scroll freely on the WRAL weather app. Ken?
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, real trouble spot on I-40 eastbound over there in Chapel Hill, right near Highway 54. So if you're coming in from Chapel Hill this morning, your best bet is to use Highway 54 and then get onto I-40 eastbound. We'll look at some other drive times and some other major routes coming into the Raleigh-Wake County area coming up in less than 5 minutes.
Wake schools and several other districts are closed today because of winter weather. Durham, Chapel Hill, Carrboro, Johnston, Orange, and Nash County schools are on that list. Edgecombe and Person County schools are going remote, and other schools are closing early. People who live in a Durham apartment complex are back in their homes this morning after a fire. This happened at Plat 4 at Research Triangle Complex on First Edition Drive. Firefighters tell us the fire sparked on a balcony around 1:30 this morning. No one was hurt. Next on Fox 50, Duke Energy gives an update on the nearly 2-week-long repairs in Creedmoor. And coming up on Today, Mila Kunis stops by to chat about Netflix Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery.
We begin the day with a winter weather advisory from Wake and Johnston counties to the north, but it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. We'll show you where we see snow accumulation and where we don't see much at all coming up.
And school closings. Districts across our area are exercising caution ahead of this winter weather. What students and parents need to know this morning.
Persistent power problems. People in Creedmoor are still dealing with issues after massive outage the day before Thanksgiving. This morning, an update from Duke Energy on its progress. So glad you're with us here in the 8:30 half hour. Lots to get to this morning. Thanks for your time. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Laura Levine. If you're just waking up with us, you may notice it's a bit cloudy out there. Just the beginning of what we're expecting today. Meteorologist Chris Michaels tracking the winter weather heading to our area, Chris.
And shout out to meteorologist Amy Womuth, who said, hey, check out that South Hill camera. And we do have some snowflakes flying out there. They're falling lightly, so nothing's accumulating. It's just getting started there in Mecklenburg County, Virginia. We'll start to see that in parts to Person, Granville, Vance, and Warren counties, although it's going to take some time for that to take over other parts of the area. So here's the hour-by-hour chances. As we go toward midday in the Triangle, it's probably just a cold rain. And then you see a rain-snow mix, and you end with some snow showers in the Triangle. Farther to the north is where you spend more time with some of these snow showers. They'll turn more scattered as we head late afternoon into the evening. So a dusting to 2 inches sounds like a wide range, right? But as you go farther to the south, it's more of that dusting. As you head into Virginia, it's a better chance of 2 inches. So again, that accumulation is more likely going to be north of I-40. We did have a dense fog advisory in effect that has since been canceled. As we go through the next few hours, temperatures rise by 1 or 2 degrees, and then they fall as we start to see that precipitation coming in. Ken?
All right, Chris, happening down the WRAL traffic center. We're going to get right to that trouble spot on I-40 eastbound this morning. You can see it right here, I-40 eastbound, crash on near Highway 54. So you're coming in from Chapel Hill this morning. Your best bet will be to get off on the Highway 54 exit, make your way to I-40 eastbound this morning, particularly if you're coming in from Chapel Hill. That crash that we've been telling you about on that northern loop of the Beltline has completely cleared. So those I-40 eastbound, 440 eastbound lanes completely free of any delays right now. Let's take a look at that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. You can see, boy, very little traffic this morning in terms of congestion, which is unheard of this time of the morning. Hey, we'll take it, right? In terms of the big picture, look at this. Short of a 2-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest Road on US 1. No delays to report on I-40 eastbound, US 1 coming in from Apex. You're getting ready to head into the cartoonist and on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Ken, thank you. And with winter weather headed our way, Wake County schools decided to close for students and staff today. So this map here shows the local counties with school districts that decided to move to remote learning, delay, or cancel altogether. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Wake County Schools headquarters in Cary this morning. And Kelsey, there's a number of schools that's really deciding to proceed with caution here today.
Yes, Laura, and Wake Schools is on the top of that list. The district headquarters here in Cary is closed this morning. We'll give you another look at that map so you can see how winter weather is impacting other school districts across our viewing area. Durham, Chapel Hill, Carrboro, Johnston, Orange, Nash, Franklin, Vance, Wilson, and Chatham County schools are also closed. Now, a few school districts are closing early today, including Halifax, Wayne, and Northampton County schools. Others are going remote, like Edgecombe and Person counties. We spoke with a Durham mom about her thoughts on remote learning.
I think they do the best that they can with what they're given. But, you know, my son basically wrapped up a full day's worth of school remote learning wise on Friday in a 45-minute period. So is that really a school day?
Coming up in the next half hour, you'll hear from Granville County Public School Superintendent. He's going to explain why they are closing today, even though they plan to be remote. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News. I'm in Cary.
So keep in mind, the WRAL Severe Weather Team will keep you updated all day long. Download the WRAL Weather app to get the newest information sent right to your phone. Make sure to turn on those push notifications as well. WRAL will have team coverage of this winter's weather coverage all day long, as I mentioned. Tune in for the latest reports during our evening newscasts starting at 4 this afternoon.
Breaking news this morning, people who live in a Durham apartment complex are back in their homes after they evacuated because of a fire. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was at Plat 4 at Research Triangle Complex on First Edition Drive. Firefighters tell us the fire sparked on a balcony at one of those units around 1:30 this morning. No one was hurt. The cause of the fire is still being investigated.
Well, today, the man accused of stabbing someone on the Charlotte Light Rail on Friday will face a judge for the very first time. 33-year-old Oscar Salazano faces felony charges, including attempted first-degree murder and assault with a deadly weapon causing serious injuries. Salazano is not eligible for bond because he is in this country illegally. Officials say he has been previously deported. Now, we've been keeping in touch with the victim of that stabbing, Kenyon Doby. He was stabbed in the chest. Now, he says he had a rough night in the hospital Saturday, but is doing much better. We spoke with Doby on the phone yesterday morning. He says he put himself in harm's way to prevent another another person from getting hurt. He told us the tube doctors used to help him was causing a bit of pain. Thankfully, staff were able to change his bandages, adjust his tubing, and increase his pain medication. Despite his ordeal, Dobie told us he would do it all over again.
My job actually has sent me a care package to my house. Everybody has been calling me a hero. I know all the doctors, they keep coming and shaking my hand and saying that it's an honor for them to be helping me recover. And all my friends and my family said that it kind of like scared them, but they're proud that I survived it.
Well, Dobie still has a long road to recovery, though. He has a GoFundMe page set up to help him with expenses moving forward. WRAL will follow Salazano's court appearance today. We'll let you know what happens.
We're so glad he's okay. So hearing this story, you may be thinking about the other Charlotte light rail stabbing, the one from a few months ago. 23-year-old Irina Zaruska was stabbed and killed on that train in August. The suspect is 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown. He is charged with knowingly and unlawfully using a dangerous weapon with intent to cause death. He's also federally charged with one count of committing an act causing death on a mass transportation system. Brown's next court date is scheduled for April 2026. So earlier this month, Irina's law went into effect. The law requires judges to use more scrutiny when considering pretrial release. It bans one type of cashless bail in North Carolina, and it also requires top prison officials to recommend new ways of executing people.
As our area prepares for more cold and winter weather, some people in Creedmoor are dealing with issues from a major power outage. It happened just before Thanksgiving. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar outside the Duke Energy headquarters in Raleigh. And Ali, Duke Energy is giving us a timeline as to when these repairs could be completed.
And Ken, we're working to find out in that timeline if they're factoring in the cold temperatures and the winter weather we're going to see today. Because later this week, Duke Energy will be out in Creedmoor working to find a permanent fix to a problem that caused people to even replace their heating systems. Now, I want to take you right to this video shared with us just within the past hour. It appears to show the wires that caused the outage. You can even see it arcing. Nearly 2 weeks ago, two power lines near Creedmoor sagged and made contact. It caused an outage that affected more than 2,000 customers for hours. Crews restored power, but Creedmoor residents told us the outage caused problems with the HVAC systems, surge protectors, even businesses' signs. WRAL pressed Duke Energy about reimbursement. The company confirmed it will cover damage tied to the equipment failure that caused the outage. And you can find how to file a claim on WRAL.com. Duke Energy says that it plans to make those permanent fixes on Wednesday. Of course, WRAL is working to find out if the temporary fixes in place will hold through the winter weather early this week. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Looking ahead, a building in Wilmington that exploded after a car crashed into it back in August will be demolished this week. You may remember this video from when it happened. Take a look at your screen. A driver crashing into a gas pipe near that building. The gas line ruptured and exploded. The building was under construction to be a veterinary center. Crews plan to add more safety measures around natural gas lines during rebuilding process.
Well, tonight you have the chance to win nearly $1 billion. Yeah, you heard that correctly. The Powerball jackpot drawing is now up to $875 million. The lump sum cash prize is over $403 million. You can watch tonight's drawing on WRAL at the top of our 11 p.m. newscast.
We're coming up on 8:40 now. Still ahead, check your pantry. A popular brand of mixed nuts sold in North Carolina may be contaminated with salmonella. 5 on your side explains the recall alert.
And snow on the way. You're taking a live look at Carr Lake, where we are starting to see some flurries in that area on this WRAL Weather Alert Day. Meteorologist Chris Michaels shows us when this system will arrive in your neighborhood.
Welcome back. Your time now 8:43, and for most of us, the rest of the morning commute is in good shape, and then we start to see that rain-snow mix developing in parts of the area. Your accumulation is more than likely going to be closer to the Virginia state line and areas downwind of Carr Lake and Lake Gaston. I'll show you why here in just a minute, whereas in the Triangle, it's little to no accumulation. Let's take a look at Carr Lake, where we just started to see some of the snow falling down. It's not accumulating. It's falling lightly enough to where it's melting on contact. But here's the interesting thing. As we get cold air that's moving over Carr Lake and Lake Gaston, we could see some additional accumulations in places like Franklin, Nash, Edgecombe, even as far south as Wilson counties. So that northeastern part of the area is a place we'll watch as we head into the evening. Ken?
And Chris, all morning long, we're helping out our business travelers, or maybe you're getting ready to head to the airport for a vacation. I-40 Wade Avenue, those are the westbound lanes. Moving at a nice steady clip over to RDU International. And of course, we've checked all the other major routes heading to RDU International. We've been seeing like a 1-minute delay on Highway 70, but even that is nothing that's going to make you late. Coming up, we're looking at a crash on I-40 eastbound near Highway 54. I'll let you know how to get around it.
Ken, thank you. Well, be careful trying to buy resale tickets. Many families are turning to resale sites to find tickets for Pullen Park's Holiday Express. The annual train ride sells out every year, as we know, and some resale tickets aren't legit. A Raleigh mother is warning others because she spent $100 and ended up with tickets that were fake.
And then I said, hey, these are not legitimate. Like, I know these tickets aren't real. I need you to send me the real ones. Like I told my son, my 3-year-old son is so excited that we're going. And I had already bought tickets. I had to change the date. And then at that point, she just stopped answering.
And she says she's currently working with her bank to dispute the charges. She was able to get different tickets from someone else, allowing her family to still attend the event.
We're so happy that worked out. Now, here's some things you can do to protect yourself. Always buy resale event tickets through official channels or verified groups. Avoid payment methods like Chime, Zelle, or Cash App that offer little fraud protection. Now, before purchasing, check that group admins and sellers are real people with verifiable profiles to reduce your risks of being scammed.
To make sure you get the best deals during the holiday shopping season, 5 on your side, Ashley Rowe shares the best saves you can find as Christmas approaches.
Now that we're past Cyber Monday, the next big deal day on the calendar for most retailers is Free Shipping Day. That's December 14th, so just under a week away. It's usually the last day to get online orders to your home by Christmas Eve. And if you're really procrastinating, Super Saturday is another big day. That's the Saturday before Christmas. This year, that's December 20th. Now, while it may be too late to order online for home delivery, you can usually order online and pick up in store.
That way you don't really have to face the crowds quite as much. You can run in, get into that customer service line, pick up stuff that's already paid for, and get out and get back in your car and get home.
The deals don't stop after Christmas. Most retailers will offer deep discounts because they're cleaning out inventory before the end of the year. For the best holiday shopping deals in our area, be sure to follow the WRAL Smart Shopper on social media or check on the Smart Shopper tab of WRAL.com under the consumer section. Ashley Rowe, 5 on your side.
Check your pantries. 5 on your side has a recall now to warn you about. Wegmans is recalling nuts sold here in North Carolina. It impacts these unsalted deluxe mixed nuts. The nuts could be contaminated with salmonella. They were sold in tubs and bags from November 3rd until December 1st. So far, no illnesses have been reported.
Well, Laura, there are many healthcare changes on the marketplace for the upcoming year. That's why WRAL is here to help you sort through all of it. This Wednesday from 4 in the afternoon until 7 in the evening, 5 on your side, partnering with the North Carolina Navigator Consortium. We want to help people get signed up for the Affordable Care Act marketplace plans. Navigators can help you with different plan questions or set up appointments to get you signed up for coverage. December 15th is the deadline to enroll if you need coverage beginning in January. Now, the number to call, 1-855-733-3711. Again, that's happening this Wednesday, December 10th from 4 to 7.
Golden Globe nominees are available right now. NBC News has been tracking that with live updates on their website here. Some of the categories already revealed. Best Director, including Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. We also have seen Best Performance by an Actor in a TV Series, Musical, or Comedy. Best Song, and no surprise there, Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters was on that list. And the categories just keep coming out here. Let me press this where it says 9 new updates. Right there, Best Motion Picture Drama. You got Frankenstein, Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. So we're going to be looking at more of these Golden Globe nominees. We even try to maybe get them up on our website on WRAL.com. But a lot of people are waiting to see if their favorite movie this year is going to win something big.
All right, sticking with the Hollywood theme, a small movie making a promising debut, and one of the biggest movies ever returning to theaters is David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Assemble.
Earth's mightiest heroes will assemble again in 2026. Marvel says Avengers Endgame, one of the biggest box office hits in history, will get an exclusive re-release in theaters beginning September 25th, ahead of the debut of Avengers Doomsday in December. A strong start for Rosemead. The drama, starring Lucy Liu as a mother desperate to protect her troubled teenage son, made an estimated $50,000 over the weekend at one New York theater, one of the best per theater grosses of any film this year. Rosemead, based on a true story, opens in Los Angeles Friday and in wider release in January. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The Education Department will temporarily bring back about 250 federal workers placed on administrative leave last March. This comes as the federal government fights efforts in the courts to cut jobs at the agency. An agency spokesperson says while that court fight plays out, it will use all of its employees to get the agency's work done. The Wake Forest Community Library will be closed until February. Crews will be replacing the carpet inside. Book returns will not be accepted during this time. You will be able to return your books at other Wake County Public Library locations.
And we're here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with meteorologist Chris Michaels, and we're getting our first flakes there right now at Carr Lake. You see these snowflakes coming down, similar to what we could expect later on, but then you also have South Hill as well.
Exactly, yeah. So from Carr Lake to South Hill, we're starting to see the snow developing. It hasn't stuck yet because we're still very early in this event. So let's go ahead and show you the camera here in South Hill, and you can see the wind blowing, snow falling heavily, but not heavy enough to overcome that warm ground. Remember, that's something that we've been talking about throughout the weekend. That's at least initially in Virginia. That'll change as we go throughout the day. But you see it kind of curving around the triangle for the time being. We'll probably start to see some snowflakes mixing in Roxborough here pretty soon and the northern part of Granville County. So let's start you out within the next 10 minutes, and you see that tendency on Futurecast with temperatures above freezing for most of us. I'll take you to about 1 p.m. and notice we're still just cold and rainy from the triangle to the Sandhills, where some snow showers start to mix in with the rain a little bit farther to the north. Heading deeper into the afternoon, still expecting that rain-snow mix in parts of the triangle, rain to the south and more snow to the north. But here's an interesting feature, and it goes to show the small-scale stuff that happens in weather. These scattered snow showers that may align themselves with Carr Lake and Lake Gaston, and that could give us a little more accumulation toward maybe areas like Lewisburg, Rocky Mount, up toward Roanoke Rapids, whereas at most, at this time, I think you might see a dusting in parts of the triangle as far south as Smithfield. But it would have to snow pretty heavily to overcome that warm ground that far to the south. So the areas where I could see a half an inch to an inch, again, would probably be from Rocky Mount northward, and then higher totals up into Virginia, where it's colder for longer. Any little bit of moisture that we have on the ground, doesn't matter if you don't even see any snow today, any moisture we see probably refreezes heading into tomorrow morning, creating some slick spots with temperatures in the teens and in the 20s. Now, through the rest of the week, we're going to track these systems coming out of Canada. We call them clippers, that they come out of Alberta, Canada. They're not really going to do anything to us. They're going to stay far to the north, delivering more snow to the northern plains, upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and to the western slopes of North Carolina and West Virginia. But for us, it's pretty much status quo. We'll be plenty cold tomorrow. We'll warm up heading into Wednesday with highs in the mid to upper 50s. Maybe a few stray showers and snowflakes mixing in Thursday night into Friday morning, but that doesn't look quite as impressive. What is fairly impressive is the cool down beyond that. Heading into the weekend, more sunshine and dry with highs mainly 45 Saturday and near 40 Sunday. So as precipitation types start to change and move into the area, you can check them on our radar on the free WRAL weather app. Laura?
Chris, thank you. And before we go to break, here are the winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic next.